Hi, I'm Mandy Bamford and this is my garden. I'm a zoologist and a science communicator, and I'm really interested in wildlife and how to keep it in our cities. And one of the best ways to do that is with a native garden, particularly local native plants. So that's what we've done in our garden. We've put in lots of local natives, but there's some other things you can do that really help animals to live in your garden. There's lots of ways to give them extra shelter, and we'll be looking at some of those ways in a minute. This is a native chewit tree. I love having local native plants in the garden because they're so much better for attracting animals. If you look at these chewit leaves, they've been chewed by all sorts of different insects. That's a sign of a very healthy ecosystem. The more chew marks and interesting places where animals have been, the better it is for our environment. It's quite important to have some bits of old dead wood in the garden because it provides a lot of habitat. And if you look here, you can see holes made by a borer larvae. It's a beetle that has a borer that eats into the wood. And these make holes that little native bees can come and nest in. In the bush, this is the way that native bees breed. It's really important to have lots of different insects in the garden. Insects are really important food for things like birds, lizards, but it's also really important for pollinating native plants. So something you can do in your own garden to help insects out is to make them an insect hotel. So really what we're trying to do is mimic those natural holes that we saw in the chewit branch, or some of the piles of logs and leaves that insects use in the bushland, and try and make them part of our gardens. And there are all sorts of ways that you can do that. There's not really a right way, so you're going to have some fun and a bit of an experiment, but you might like to try different ways and see what works best in your garden, see which types of insects use the different types of hotels that you design. I've collected up various bits of equipment to use for our insect hotel. Some species of native bees will nest in clay or in sand, so you can mould a piece of clay into a shape to fit in your bee hotel. Yes, you're mimicking the sorts of things that bees might find on banks of streams. Insect hotels are a great activity to do in your garden. They're fun because you can experiment and see what comes and uses them, and they're a great activity to do with kids. You can use recycled materials or even odds and ends from your garden, and you'll be helping biodiversity in the city.